Welcome to Tech and Web Guy. We're going to look at WPKG, an open source software solution for deploying applications. The applications can be anything from an executable to a BAT file to a VBS script. I'm at the wpkg.org website right now, and we're going to download WPKG. So we're going to click download, and then we're going to download version 1.3, which has recently been updated. Doesn't take very long to download. Once it's downloaded, there's really 5 files that make up the core of WPKG. The first one is the wpkg.js. This file is the file that runs in the background. We really don't have to mess with it or know how it works. We have the config file. We also have the host file, the packages, and the profiles file. I'm going to move away from this downloaded folder, away from the website, into my actual production server where I'm actually using WPKG currently. So I'm going to look at the config file, and I'm using Notepad++ here. The config file just holds some variables for us that allows us to, I'm just going to minimize it here and try to get down to the meat. When you see this in green here, that means that it's not doing anything. Here you go. So we have some language strings, some things like that in the config file. So we're really not doing that much with the actual config file. So I'm going to skip over the config file. We're going to look at the host file. Now this is the main file that when it runs, this is the first thing it checks. It says, does this computer name exist within this list? So let's open it up. Here is a list of all of the computers in my domain. Now I've done a couple things here. You're going to see, here's a good example. I have a computer name right here, and I'm also, from this point, I'm installing software from these. Now this doesn't look familiar because we haven't talked about it yet, but we can come back. Just know that this host file is generally used to display computer names and the associated profiles. You can add comments like I've done out here out to the side. Then you can also tell it to install specific packages from this host file. Moving to the package file over here, we'll edit the package file. I'm just gonna let's look at the profile one first. Moving to the profile, it shows us a list of all of the different packages to install for an associated profile. Looking into the administrator, for example, I have 2 different types of packages. I have a depends, then I have a package. The package is linked to one application file only, where the depends file says run everything in the profile called default. So if I find my default profile, that administrator's profile will run all the packages and here, because it has a depends. Now you'll notice my default also has a depends called uninstall programs, which I have a list of VBS scripts that uninstalls some programs for me, and also cleans up, defrags, things like that. So that's what the profiles.xml file does. It's an XML file that holds a list of all the profiles, and I'm just going to minimize them here. You can have as many as you want. You can organize them as much as you want. I work in a school system, so I have laptop carts, I have rooms for this, rooms for that. I have over 500 computers. Deploying software manually just doesn't work for me, so I have to come up with a solution. This is what we found. So looking at the packages folder, we have a lot of different things going on here. And remember, I'm in the packages.xml file, this guy right here, and looking at him, let me show you one of the more simpler scripts that I have going on here. I'm just going to minimize these. The package.id firewall. This one runs, if we look at my profiles, and under my default profile, my firewall, it says run the package called ID firewall. So here it is, run firewall. The name of it is firewall script. It's my first revision. It will not reboot the computer. It's a priority. This priority number is completely up to you. If you wanted to put 1 million, it would do 1 million. It's just going to take the largest one first. Then execute always. So execute always is every time the computer runs, it's going to run this script. So what mine does is it says run through the scripting engine this VBS script. And that's it. The VBS script, that's a whole other conversation about what those do, but that is how you run a specific one. This one does no checks, it just runs every time. Now we can get a little bit more advanced, and if we look at my Flash, my FP Flash Player, Adobe Flash Player 11.1. I haven't upgraded to the new one because it has problems, but if we look, it's the 4th revision I've made. And these revisions are important because as you go through your revisions, every time you make a revision and you change the number, the computer will rerun that package if the revision number is greater on the server than it has locally. So it says never to reboot, and its priority is 999. I've set it high so that way it runs this first because we use Flash for a lot of applications. So this one actually does a check. It checks the file if the version is greater or equal to, and then it looks at this path and checks the version. And this is where WPKG can kind of be confusing for some people, because if it checks true, it's not going to run. I'm going to say that again. If this checks true, if it's equal to or greater than, it will not run. Because if it equals this version, there's no reason for it to run. Then it's already been run. Because we've uninstalled, we've stopped it, uninstalled it, updated it, ran it, whatever we had to do, and it's not going to run. Now, if this comes back false, for example, if I was still on version Flash 10, if it checked the file or this file didn't exist, it would return a false. And then if I get a false, it runs. That's important. This can throw a lot of people off as they're starting to build their WPKG packages, is that this check. So if it returns false, it runs. If it returns true, it doesn't run. So this is really the introduction section for WPKG. Kind of gets you used to your packages. Profiles on hosts just kind of shows you where they are. Now, some people do, and I do here under my packages, because I have so many, I have my packages listed here, and it's important that the name of the package be listed here. And if we look at Audacity here, the name of the file is Audacity and the package ID is Audacity. So that's important that they be the same. This is just a way that you can store them in a different location. And as you can see, you can have a ton of them. I have 72 just in this one file, and I also have some that exist here in my package file over here. So there's any number of things that you can do. There's really no limitations. It's whatever you want to put the time in to do. Sometimes building packages isn't a straightforward solution. It takes some time, but if you have a lot of computers, if you spend an hour building one package that takes you 20 minutes to install per computer and you have 100 computers, you've saved yourself a lot of time. Look forward to seeing more tutorials from me on WPKG soon.